Hey everyone, I'm Azalea Heffernan and I live in Eastern Napa, California with my family. Before I begin my story, let me tell you something. My favorite instrument is the flute. That's right, the flute. The reason for me liking the flute is because its sound is incredibly beautiful and it warms my heart every time I hear one. In fact, it's been my favorite instrument ever since I was in elementary school. In my story, I met a flutist at my school's talent show and she became my best friend. Let me tell you about my musical story. It was a rather cold Friday morning when my school held a talent show that I've been excited for a few months now when I first heard about it because I find it exciting to see what everyone in the show has to show. Near the end of the talent show, a flute player walked up to the stage and started playing Morning Mood by Edvard Grieg on her flute for us. Because my favorite instrument was the flute, as I mentioned earlier, I started smiling uncontrollably. In the middle of all that, my school friend, Patty McCann, looked at me and asked me if I liked the flute, and I answered her question by saying yes, I do. After that splendid and beautiful performance, I got up from my seat, walked up to the stage and said hello to the flutist and she said hello back. Her name was Olivia Ragdale. After introducing myself and all that jazz, I took a good look at Olivia's flute and I noticed that the head joint A.K.A, the part where you blow to make the sound, was black while that same part on a regular flute is all silver. I was confused but I didn't question it. After all that confusion, me and Olivia walked outside and sat on a bench under a tree. As Olivia was putting her flute away, I gave her a card with my address so she can visit my house anytime she wants. For the rest of the day, I introduced Olivia to Patty, we had lunch together and eventually at the end of the day, I said goodbye to Olivia and walked home. The next morning after 11 o'clock, Olivia came to my house and as she was putting her flute together, I introduced to my sister, Amy. After meeting Amy, we sat down at kitchen table and Olivia began to play I See the Light from the Disney movie Tangled on her flute. Amy was impressed by Olivia's beautiful flute playing while it felt like I was in heaven. After Olivia finished and put her flute away, we took her outside to rest in the warm sun. Well everyone, that's the end of my story. Bye and have an excellent day.